You must be the little lost dragon.
It's true. My friends and I are lost.
This meeting was no accident. The prophetess was in fact the seer witch, here to present her promised gift.
The seer witch? Oh yeah! That's Mona's teacher, right? The old hag?
Insolent child. I am the seer witch, your prophetess, not some old hag.
Sorry!
Now, little lost dragon, I have come to bestow the gift I once promised. A prophecy.
A prophecy?
Hear me now, for my prophecy is this. One day, the dragon from beyond the castle shall be reborn, and none may avert its coming.
The wind took the prophecy and swept it off into the distance. And so, the little dragon was shown a path to wander.
Caminho mostrado pelo vento. Será que isso se refere ao que aconteceu lá em Mondstadt?
As far as I remember, once that alchemist from Mondstadt learned about the prophecy, he chose to stand with you against the evil dragon. So, what does any of this have to do with you being forgotten?
Oh, wise witch of prophecy. Could we trouble you with another question?
As enigmatic as she was elegant, the seer witch spoke no more, for her thoughts had long since returned to the starry firmament above.
Just when we actually needed her.
The seer witch was my mother's friend, so the prophecy she just gave should turn out to be helpful.
Well, it's not like we've got better options. But, if all we need to do is leave this place, which path should we take?
Alguma ideia, Durin?
Why don't we take a look around?
Looks like there's another path over here.
The secrets he sought led the stray to discover another path forward, though it was overgrown with bristling thorns. It seemed to lead away from this place, but each time he tried to follow it, the branches of the tail sent him back to the start.
So the author managed to work this book into the story too. I'll hand it to her. This book is fascinating.
What's going on here?
When I first realized you were being forgotten by the world, I thought it might be because you spent too much time with me. In which case, the only hope of a cure would be to cut our ties for good.
What makes you think that?
Once upon a time, the stray tore apart his own story and was forgotten by the world beyond the castle. He believed the story had cursed him, and that his misfortune had rubbed off upon the little dragon.
The story's curse.
Ele achava que o fato de ter sido esquecido também afetou o Durin.
It was just a suspicion before. But now I think it's something we have to try.
Wait, what do you mean? Try what?
One of the story's branches is a path I can't take. If you follow it out of here, I won't be part of your story anymore. Considering what the strange magic in this book is capable of, making that choice could cut our connection once and for all.
Lá vamos nós de novo.
As long as there's a chance it might work, it's worth a try. He's not like me. He deserves for the world to remember him.
O que você acha, Durin?
Well, maybe Hat Guy has his reasons for thinking that way, but that's not the kind of decision I can make so easily.
The wind kept blowing, but the little dragon had not yet resolved to follow it. Before him lay a foggy path, and where it might lead he could not tell.
If we go this way, we'll be heading back to Mondstadt just like we planned. Out of all the options so far, this seems like the safest, right? At least we know what happens next.
He helps stop the evil dragon from returning, gets a new body, makes a whole bunch of friends, who all just forget about him.
But you didn't forget, Hat Guy.
I'm just saying, choosing this path wouldn't solve the main problem. You'd still end up being forgotten.
Huh.
Talvez os próximos capítulos tragam as respostas. Só precisamos continuar a história.
I'm not against choosing this path. I just wonder what secrets it might be hiding.
Let me think about it. I still think you should keep going, little dragon. If you leave the castle, you can accomplish something amazing and make a bunch of friends along the way.
Really? Then let's go!
Unable to preserve his story, the little dragon wandered astray. Fortunately for him, a certain prophetess had left behind a prophecy to guide him. The wind took the prophecy and swept it off into the distance, and so the little dragon was shown a path to wander. Following the wind's guidance, the little dragon made his escape. In turn, the prophetess affirmed the little dragon's choice, leaving an extra secret as her parting gift.
Now that you've made up your mind, I shall keep my promise by explaining Fate's little trick. Long, long ago, the gods of the high heavens gave the world outside the castle a magic of its own. They called it storytelling. It was a magic of almost unshakable power that governed how people met, grew close, and understood one another. Each person had a story meant for them and them alone. One whose ending was written in the heavens long ago. In truth, your story and the evil dragons are simply two versions of the same tale, and that is something the magic of storytelling cannot abide. Beyond the castle's walls, your story cannot take root, for the evil dragon's tale has done so already.
So, that was the secret?
Huh.
Entendo. O que está acontecendo aqui?
You still don't get it? Simulanka Durin and Tevat Durin share a special kind of connection. Their fates are mirror images of one another. While they were in two separate worlds, there may have been some mutual influence, but their fates were independent. But when Simulanka Durin came to Tevat, a version of his fate already existed there. So, how can two fates exist at the same time? The answer is, they can't. The rules of this world don't allow it. You can't return a book you never checked out in the first place.
So, what's Durin supposed to do?
Those mages seem to have come up with quite the ingenious solution. I'm here to make a return.
As I said, there's no record of Volume 5 of this series ever being checked out.
Then just think of this as Volume 6. Based on what I know, the author was planning on publishing another volume anyway.
The catalog does have a slot reserved for Volume 6. So, this is it?
Sure, let's go with that. All you need to know is, I'll be the one writing this series from now on.
You...
What are you up to this time?
Remember the red tape I mentioned before? Well, I just took care of it. Now, I guess you'll be off to see your alchemist friend? It should be pretty obvious by now. He has the answers you're looking for.
Well, we do have a whole bunch of things to confirm with Albedo, that's for sure. But didn't Jean say he'd be gone for quite a while?
I'll join you. Just let me know when it's time to go.
Hat guy?
Don't sound so surprised. I'm part of this story too, aren't I? I'm just playing my role.
Well, yeah. But it's not that. I just feel like you want to help, but something's holding you back.
When I first realized you were being forgotten by the world, I thought it might be because you spent too much time with me. I even thought cutting our ties might be the only way to fix it.
Why would you think that?
Ele fez o mundo inteiro esquecê-lo uma vez, então estava preocupado de que o Durin pudesse ser afetado pelo que ele fez.
It doesn't matter now. Judging from the answer this book has given us, I was probably overthinking it.
Melhor dizendo, com certeza. De qualquer forma, estamos juntos nessa agora.
Just as well. With the ley lines rejecting him like this, the people who still remember him are his only remaining connection to this place. If that last fragile tie was broken, who can say what devastation his unbound body might unleash? And to think I'm one of the people keeping you here, instrumental in helping change your fate. Can't say I saw it coming.
Well, if it's good enough for Hat Guy, it's good enough for me. After all, he is about as odd as humans get.
Excuse me?
With some people, even if you try asking a simple question, they'll always give you a complicated answer. And the more you ask, the more complicated it gets. Truth is, Hat Guy's just that kind of guy.
Às vezes, com certeza, mas ele nem sempre é assim.
Whatever. All I needed was a yes or no, so we can quit it with all the back and forth. So this is the other Durin, huh? If this had been the dragon that ended up being revived in Mondstadt, there's no telling what kind of calamity that people would have had to endure. So, if you think about it like that, Durin's actually a hero.
E você resolveu ser bonzinho do nada?
No, I'm just a little envious, that's all. Not everyone gets a chance to be a hero.
Actually, most of the credit belongs to Albedo.
Then again, barely anyone even remembers you at this point. So I guess there's not much left to envy.
Ah, so you three still remember Durin. Looks like the memory loss hasn't spread to close friends. Yet. I guess that means my memory of you must still be complete as well.
Albedo.
You're finally here! Oh, boy, do we have a whole pile of questions for you!
Oh, you're here too?
I think I've pieced together some of what happened to him. But what's your take on things?
Master Jean filled me in on what happened, and I've got a few theories. But let's get on the same page first. Well, physically, he's doing fine. His body is holding the abyssal power at bay. And there's nothing whatsoever to indicate any risk of collapse.
So, from an alchemy point of view, there's nothing wrong with him?
The issue isn't so much that the abyssal power within him has gotten out of control. It's that the connection between his will and body is fading. If he ends up losing his conscious will, his body will fall back on its biological instincts. And that's when the abyssal power within it will take over.
Mas, se isso acontecer,
This book mentioned a witches' gathering. It seems like quite a few of these witches got themselves involved in Durin's case. Which brings me to my theory. Bringing fairy tale Durin into this world to replace the Durin on Dragonspine means using one Durin's fate to overwrite the others. But the power of alchemy alone would not be enough to pull off such a feat. It would have required the combined use of Miss Barbeloff's astrology, my teacher's alchemy, and Aunt Alice's magic. After learning of Miss Barbeloff's prophecy, Durin and I finally came up with a way to settle the Dragonspine Durin problem for good. And I took care of the alchemy side of things, which, looking back on it, seems to have been a part of their plan all along. So now, there's only one thing missing.
a magia, certo?
As for the fate theory our friend in the hat just mentioned, I still can't figure out how any kind of magic could possibly influence the fate of Tevat. But I'm certain that the answer lies within this book.
So, the reason Alice had us complete this book was to make that magic possible?
A form of magic powerful enough to rewrite fate itself.
Well, we've no time to lose. I just need to take a look at the book. The next part of the story most likely relates to me. So the memory that unlocks it must be connected to me too.
Huh?
And the winner.
The giant tree was home to a broken branch, the shape of its splintered arm aligning perfectly with the branch that had burst forth from the castle walls. Join yourself to that broken bough, for there you may take root at last, and henceforth bask in the sun and rain of the world beyond the castle. But first, fetch the stickiest clay and let it bind the scar of the break.
I see.
Guided by the breeze, the little dragon arrived at an alchemist's workshop. There he was greeted by a clay figure, a child molded by the Sage Witch's hands. Though gentle in appearance, he had inherited his mother's cold, sharp wisdom. And he was determined to avert the calamity the evil dragon would bring, and so was his helper, none other than the little dragon himself.
What is this place?
It looks like it's modeled after an alchemist's workshop. Or rather, a cliched stereotype of one.
Albedo?
Hold on. Why do I look like this?
Oh, yeah! We forgot to tell you. Basically, the characters in the story are reflections of how Durin sees them.
At least you're still human-shaped?
Well, since Cat Guy has taken on a different appearance too, that must mean the two of us are both characters in the story. But you, Paimon, and Durin haven't changed at all. You must be special figures in some way.
I'd like to know more about that too. But seeing as none of them can explain it, let's just concentrate on moving the plot forward.
Vamos dar uma olhada por aqui. Isso é um caminho escondido?
And just like that, the group stumbled upon a hidden passageway. Intricately crafted, it seemed to lead them towards another exciting chapter of the tale.
Come on! What are we waiting for? Next chapter, here we come! Ouch!
But this was a chapter that had not yet been written. Ahead of them was a storyless void, and they could go no further.
What? Then what's the point of having a path here?
Talvez a autora tenha tido um lampejo de inspiração e depois deu um branco.
Sounds like a pretty bad habit for a writer.
Over here. I found something.
What the clay figure found was none other than the evil dragon's heart itself. Though the creature had perished long ago, its heart was still there, pulsing away and growing warmer with every beat. And the clay alchemist knew what it meant. That the evil dragon would return one day, just as the prophecy had foretold. Yet, guided by his mother's wisdom, he foresaw another fate. If only the alchemist could bestow this heart upon the little dragon, he might be reborn in the evil dragon's stead. Only then would the evil dragon's heart grow still, and the little one inherit its tale.
Sounds like this chapter is about Albedo bringing me to life?
If that really was the solution, though, this would have been over the minute I finished the transmutation. So why is Durin still being forgotten?
There has to be some other reason.
Ainda há lugares onde podemos investigar. Temos tempo.
Yeah, I'd like to explore the area a bit more.
Unless the little dragon kept moving, eventually he would be forgotten. The evil dragon's heart continued to beat, as if waiting for the little dragon to accept it as his own.
Looks like we have no choice but to get this done. Whatever happens next, Durin is going to need all of our help. Is everyone ready?
What the clay figure found was none other than the evil dragon's heart itself. Though the creature had perished long ago, its heart was still there, pulsing away and growing warmer with every beat. And the clay alchemist knew what it meant. That the evil dragon would return one day, just as the prophecy had foretold. Yet, guided by his mother's wisdom, he foresaw another fate. If only the alchemist could bestow this heart upon the little dragon, he might be reborn in the evil dragon's stead. Only then would the evil dragon's heart grow still, and the little one inherit its tale. At last, the little dragon accepted the evil dragon's heart, and a new life came into being. The evil dragon's heart beat in his chest, and the little dragon's soul guided him forward. Thus did the prophecy hold true, even as fate had been rewritten. And so was the little dragon born anew.
Finally! A happy ending! That must be the last step, right? Woohoo! We completed the story!
Mas, então por que ainda estamos aqui?
Born anew, the little dragon set off once more, his story far from over.
Huh? So, that wasn't the end?
What comes next might be the most crucial part of all. The real last step.
If fate really is as devious as they say, then I say, show us what you've got.
Wow! you're all so serious all of a sudden? Durin, are you alright?
The evil dragon's heart was now one with the little dragon, yet the dark power within it still lingered. Would the little dragon dare to hold this power back, or would he simply give in?
Hey, what kind of question is that? Of course he's gonna control it. What choice does he have?
Time is running out. So, will the little dragon dare to hold this power back? Or will he simply give in?
What's up with the narrator?
Would he dare to hold this power back? Or would he simply give in?
The little dragon and his companions blank. Blank again.
Huh? What's going on? Are we running out of ink?
Once the ink runs out, is that the end of the story?
I had a feeling this would happen.
What's happening to the others?
Now that the story's ink was spent, all that lay ahead were blank pages.
Hello, children. If you're hearing this recording, it's because you've reached a certain ending. You may have noticed that little Durin's experiences have been written into the pages of this book. Well, you should know that in the same way, its ending will also be written onto him. So be careful, because triggering a bad ending could be somewhat problematic.
Que tipo de lógica é essa?
Let me guess. You're upset that I didn't warn you earlier? Don't worry, though. I've thought it all through. I built a very special feature into this book, just for you, the witnesses of this tale. So, go ahead. See if you can turn back the pages. If you're not happy with the ending you've reached, just flip back a few pages and let the tale unfold once more.
Isso aqui é uma regra.
Pretty incredible, huh? That's the power of magic.
Would he dare to hold this power back? Or would he simply give in? Would he dare to hold this power back? Or would he simply give in?
The little dragon was at an impasse, and the dark power within him surged like a tide. Unchecked, the darkness engulfed everything around it, including the little dragon's soul. The little dragon's story faded into nothingness, and in the world beyond the castle, only the evil dragon's tale endured.
Is this me?
And so the story ended, with the little dragon fading from sight. leaving nothing but the evil dragon's shadow in his place.
Então, a história acabou?
Oh no! That means Durin... What do we do now?
Looks like you've discovered another possible ending. Do not lose hope. You just need to keep searching, for there are possibilities that only you can bring to life.
Would he dare to hold this power map?
Returning to the castle.
Parece que você está dividido por alguma coisa.
I just never thought crossing over into a new world would create so much trouble. All I wanted was to make some friends. I'm starting to think I kind of miss being in Simulanka.
You might look back on it with fondness, but if I were you, I wouldn't miss it.
Why?
Sometimes, moving on with your life comes at a cost. But that's better than going nowhere at all.
You don't have to worry, Durin. No matter what problem you face, there will always be a solution.
Okay. Sometimes I wish I could just go back and see it again.
As the little dragon slipped back inside the castle's walls, the clamor of the outside world fell away. There was no danger here, no problems for the little dragon to resolve. As soon as his mother finished her story, it was time for the child to drift off into the world of dreams. And so the story ended, with the little dragon fast asleep in his castle, just like he had never even hatched.
What's going on? I feel so weak.
Hey, what's happening? Durin, wake up!
Chegamos a final.
But this can't be how it ends. Durin promised to bring back everyone's memories. There's no way he'd accept an ending like this.
Looks like you've discovered another possible ending. Do not lose hope. You just need to keep searching, for there are possibilities that only you can bring to life.
What's going on here? Why isn't the story letting Durin just suppress the abyssal power? It keeps getting stuck.
It seems the act of suppressing the power counts as an event in the story. In other words, we would need ink to write it in.
So, what now? Did we use too much earlier? How are we supposed to write a happy ending with only this much left?
É possível. Ainda não é hora de a história acabar.
But...
Well, this is Durin's story. As long as he's alive and well, why should it end?
If there really is such a direct correlation between the story and his fate, I may have a potential hypothesis. Durin was, and still is in essence, a storybook character, written into being by M. From the moment he was born, he has always dwelt within her story. And I suspect that has remained the case, even after his arrival in Tevat. Reviving Durin in the evil dragon's place was an act of grafting this Durin story onto the latter's fate. In essence, that is how his fate was rewritten. But there is a fundamental difference between a being's story and its fate. As Miss Barbeloth reminded us, the fate of every living being in Teyvat has been woven into the fabric of time. Its most natural path, therefore, is to proceed along its given track. But Durin's story, on the other hand...
Precisa de autor para continuar escrevendo.
As Durin's connection to this world wore thin, not only have people started to forget him, he started to lose control of the abyssal power within. In other words, his story can't continue. Because the author's ink is drying up. That's what it seems like to me.
It would seem the little dragon had made a group of fine friends indeed.
Save it. The question is, are you here to help him, or stand in his way?
This is as far as the story can go. What path will you choose?
Se a história acabar agora, Durin simplesmente desaparecerá.
I suppose the final decision is up to me. It's hard to believe I never actually left my mother's story. If that's true, I'd like to go there and see for myself.
By there, I take it you mean the blank pages of the unwritten chapter ahead?
But we still don't even know how Alice's magic works. If Durin belongs inside the story, then going outside of it to some unwritten part, isn't it too risky?
I'm not afraid.
Então vá em frente. Nós estaremos com você durante todo o caminho.
I second that. It would seem this is one answer you need to go seize for yourself.
So be it. Whatever obstacles stand in your way, we'll tear them down together.
Watch out!
In that invisible wall, it was as if the little dragon was standing at the uncrossable edge of the itself. And all of a sudden, it began to fraction as if struck by something. And soon it was, and all of a sudden, it began to fraction.
Gotta keep going.